a massive fire, wasn't it? And look at the hose, someone's training water on it there, trying to make an impact. It was a massive fire, wasn't it? And look at the hose, someone's training water on it there, trying to make an impact. That building had a sprinkler system, but it obviously wasn't effective. It was a homemade sprinkler system, as opposed to one today that would be engineered with their proper supply pipes and so on and so forth. The sprinkler was undersized, or the main sourcing the sprinkler system was undersized, so it was ineffective.
It was fortunate that day it wasn't no wind.
Yeah.
If there'd been any wind, it would have took out a lot of houses around the neighborhood.
Yeah, just like the
Because the guys on the CPR wharf, on the upper wharf, they're up on there where the hoses are watered, because it's a tarred roof, and they were watering the roof down in case a spark might have flew over onto it. Mm-hmm. See, that would be it in the background, the CPR wharf.
Yeah.
The upper wharf. So you know, it's in, yeah.
What started the fire?
They never did find out. They thought it might have been spontaneous combustion. Because up where it started, on that right-hand corner where you see all that flames coming out of there,
Yeah.
up over top of that we had bags after bags of pine wood shavings. The bags must have been that big. That's what they used to pack the lobsters in to ship to Europe. And that's where, and they were piled right clear up to where the sprinkler system was. And that's where it started. Because when my nephew came down from upstairs, and they were working down that area, lining up boxes, and he said, "She's on fire," and I know nothing but black smoke rolling out, and that's where it started. And that day, it was a real hot day, and it was a tarred roof, and they think that might have got a heat in it. They never did find out what caused it.
It sounds likely, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You see, by then, Conley's no longer owned it. It was owned by Petrel. They're a big multinational. They didn't need to rebuild it. They could take up the capacity in other plants. They kept an office going here in St. Andrews. Upstairs over where Vicky's leather shop is for a couple of years.
Oh yeah, that's the houses down there. That's
Is-
right.
That's approximately the position of Bruce Monahan's house now, where that cottage is there.
That looks like a boat there.
It was where Michael Henderson's house is, and the one Bill and Joan Smith recently sold. They had a canning facility as part of it, so they had to produce a lot of steam.
Barbie Holt's parents lived down there. Curry's lived down there.
That's George Doherty standing there by the fire truck. I recognize him.
I worked there. I used to work part-time there for about 4 or 5 years, 3 or 4 of it. Cause we'd go down when the lobster season started, and we get laid off for the winter, go on old unemployment. This was just in the late teenagers, early 20s. And then we'd get on in the spring when they go back. We'd go back to work again. They'd bring the 4 or 5 of us back, and we'd work all spring, summer, and fall till the lobster season closed for the winter. I was right there the day it burned. Yeah. Too bad that it burned, because that was a one big tourist attraction.
Yeah.
We'd get busload after busload.
Really?
There was a tour bus going through there that day, and I went down the hall. When I went upstairs and the guy come down, I was packing lobsters, and my nephew come down, and he was right up where it started. He said, "She's on fire," and I went on all it was black smoke rolling through it.
Those were Irving tanks, I believe. And there was an Imperial Oil tank station down in that area, tank farm as they called them. It was a Texaco tank farm. Because when everyone burned oil, no one burned electricity in those days. There'd be 3 oil delivery trucks working out of St. Andrews, one for each of those companies. Now I think they truck all the oil in from St. John. I don't think there are any tank farms in the county. That was their garage. They had a garage there to maintain their truck fleet. So they had heavy-haul vehicle. They trucked a lot of lobsters to Boston by this time. And they railroaded the ones to Montreal and Toronto.
It's quite a cooling plant.
Yeah, they had a siding. The boxcars came right down.
Have so many tourists in the summertime, you couldn't even move. They were in there watching you shipping packing the lobster. They were so amazed how we could handle a lobster, pick up a lobster. Just look at it and know how much it weighed. How do you know what that is? Just look at it. Pick it up, you know exactly if it's a pound or a pound and an eighth, a pound and a quarter, eighth, a pound and a quarter.
Look at the flames still.
See, those are the railway. That was Canadian Pacific Railway freight sheds.
Yeah.
And largely they served the Connors shipping that came over by vessel from Black's Harbour.
As you described, someone else.
And fish meal and various products would come in here and go out by rail.
So when the tracks went, they tore.
Yeah, once you get going, there were train cars were down there that we used to use, and the train was in that day, and the train come down, hooked onto them, and hauled them out of there because they were right alongside the building. No, it was too bad they lost that because that was a big tourist attraction. Nancy.
Yes.
And they never got the money to rebuild it. They had the plans for a nice big modern factory.
Yes,
The boat building was just the other side of that CPR wharf,
Yeah.
towards Conley's. And when that burnt, and that burned in 44.
44.
Yeah, there's parts of the freezer system and all that. Because they had ice making machines in it and big tanks and all that. One of some of the big propane tanks in it, one that didn't explode, but they were kind of leery of it because they knew they were in there. But there's no way they could get at the fire where it started. And after a while they just gave up on it and they turned the hoses on the big Irving oil tanks, keep them cool down and just let her go. That's all they could do.
There wasn't much left when the fire stopped burning. So, as we look over that damage to that building with the garage doors, that's where Conleys maintained their fleet. Those are their garage facilities. And Doug Cunningham had a little blacksmith shop in there.
In this white building?
Yes.
Oh yes, the garage doors there.
Yeah, and they employed Doug probably longer than they really needed him because he was their fabricator. He built things for the factory and for the freight sheds and so on. And he was a real blacksmith. Kept a forge going there. There's the good one of the garage, the Conley garage. And that's one of their old trucks that they used to haul the lobster shells away in. And you notice behind the truck, the two lights, they had a gas island there. A fuel island for fueling. And there's one of their trucks they used to haul lobsters to Boston. That blue one with the big box on it.
Where did they take the lobster shells?
They had a depository out on the Clark Road and they dumped them out there. And when that truck went up Water Street with the lobster juice draining out the back, it wasn't a pleasant smell. Things we put up with in those days that no one would tolerate today.
What's that one again? Is that the shed?
Oh, the shed, that, I think they referred to that as a twine shed. Because in later years, John Sawyer had his glass blowing shop in there
Oh, that's right, that's right.
when Ian owned it. Oh, that is, I think that's Wendell Holt. Pretty sure it is. That's the old station. That's the railway station when it was at the corner of Water and Patrick. Looks like it's been boarded up, but not yet taken away, you see. No, that's Water Street that we're looking at.
Okay, so this is Water Street here?
Water Street's going from left to right. And that's Patrick going up to the left, I believe.
So this is Patrick going up?
No. I think it's Water. Because that building sat with its end to Water Street station. And I think what we're seeing to the left is the rubble from the old ice house where John Armstrong's garage is.
I thought that
it's the general area where that ice house was.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I wonder if this is supply coming in for the sewage treatment project that took place here in the late 70s. I was on council at the time. Dr. Dave Scarrett headed up the project for the town. He was a councillor. And that's when the sewage was corralled into a proper network to take down to the treatment plant for the first time.
And all the fish disappeared from the harbour.
That's right. And, well, kids used to catch them and peddle them door to door, buy a flounder for 15 cents.